What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate, reverse rants, no hate. So look, let me talk about something real quick to y'all. I want to talk about two things. Actually, a couple of things. But I'm going to start off with these two. One, as expected, and I don't agree with it, but Devin Haney is getting a lot of flack from people for fighting Uriek's Gamboa. He's washed up, he's over the hill, he looked like crap against Tank, yada yada. Okay, understand something, y'all. Devin Haney is on the come up. He's a young fighter still trying to prove himself, okay? And what people fail to realize is he's going to be compared. His performance, I've said this in a previous video, his performance is going to be compared to Tank Davis comparison, okay, to his fight. Just like when Floyd would fight a guy, Pacquiao would fight that same guy after, you know, and that went on with Shane Mosley, Oscar De La Hoya, Ricky Hatton, you know what I'm saying? Marquez was a comeback fight for Floyd, you know, and as you know, Pacquiao and Marquez fought 4 times. But and what's the first thing everybody did? They compared who did what better, you know, against different the other opponent. Now, as you know, Pacquiao and Floyd are 2 completely different styles. Now, Tank Davis is more like a Mike Tyson. Devin Haney is, you know, he's a boxer. They both can fight, they both can box. But Tank Davis is like, he try to take your head off. Let me take that back. I don't even want to say he's like a Mike Tyson, because I don't like saying a fighter is like another fighter. But he comes to take your head off. They both got fast hands, and they both can fight. They both can box. You know, they both can counter well. They both can attack well. But truth is, no, if I was going to compare, no, the hell with that. Devin Haney is more like a Floyd Mayweather. Tank Davis is more like a Mike Tyson. Yeah, let me put it to you like that. That's to me, stylistically, that's kind of what they, you know, that would be the style matchup between the two of them if you wanted to compare them to somebody. And pretty much, okay, Gamboa, I give him credit for having the heart to step up, because you know who didn't step up? Gary Russell. And I like Gary Russell as a fighter. But at the same time, you know, I mean, I put the video, I made a video. I talked about what happened. I saw the video myself, and pretty much, you know, after all that back and forth, nothing happened. And the facts are, if you clearly look at it, it wasn't the Devin Haney side. They didn't hold up the fight. They didn't hold up the fight. You know, Gary Russell, him and whoever he had on the phone arguing with him or for him or however, you know, it's like, bottom line, Devin Haney and his dad, Team Haney, they was putting their best foot forward to make that fight happen. It didn't happen because of Gary Russell's side. You know, all right, if anybody saw that video and understand what's going on, then you guys know that's the case. So, you know, take the fanboy stuff out. I don't care about who you like or who you want to blame. The reality is, if you understand the truth of what happened, then, I mean, come on, because this was in his face. This was in his face. And you know, simple questions couldn't be answered because why? You said a whole lot of things, and then it was proven that, no, what you're saying is not true. It was debunked with proof, okay? Now, I expected people to talk trash about Gamboa because they talk trash about Gamboa and they criticize Tank Davis for fighting Gamboa. Okay? Young lion versus old lion, this is what you get. Now, let's say this is a competitive fight. Are people going to say, yo, Gamboa showed up? Or are they going to say, oh man, Devin Haney's overrated? And then we're going to have a whole situation of young prospects in this game being shot down and looked at in a negative way because you count a person out and won't give them credit for stepping up when they're supposed to. I mean, Gamboa's 38, but I mean, hey man, maybe he's a 38 that still can do it. We know he got injured in that fight. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. You know, look, one thing you got to understand is it's better to fight than to sit back as long as you're motivated. Because you can take a lesser opponent and wind up getting beat because you went in there thinking, nah, it's an easy fight. And I don't think at all that Devin Haney is taking Gamboa light. And I think anybody, you'd be a fool to do that. Gamboa he's a professional, bro. You know, he might not be, you know, in his prime anymore, but you can't go in and take anybody light. Upsets do happen. Now, another guy is Ryan Garcia. I don't know what's going on. Maybe somebody gave Ryan Garcia credit or props for something, but all of a sudden, I'm just seeing a whole lot of Ryan Garcia ain't shit, yada, 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 this and that. And I'm like, I mean, hey, everybody's entitled to their opinion, but I mean, out of nowhere, like, where's all this coming from? Because I remember a couple of months ago when Rolly Romero had a fight where they robbed Martinez Jackson. They robbed him, you know, and everybody was talking about how Tank Ryan and, you know, Lopez and all of them would destroy Rolly Romero, and then all of a sudden now it was just flack at him. Oh, but then again, yeah, I didn't really catch it myself. Somebody told me that Ryan Garcia got some kind of recognition, something with athletes or something. He's ranked amongst the top athletes, some you know, some kind of something like that. I don't know, but that's not what I was focused on. But it's like, so how this work is, let's say you feel like Lopez is the man, but Ryan Garcia gets something that he doesn't get, so now all of a sudden it's just hate towards Ryan Garcia. Like, what? I don't get it, man. I don't get you so-called boxing fans. Okay, I want to bring something to your attention though. When y'all say these guys ain't fighting nobody, they call each other out and then fight some bums, and this is the stuff that y'all say. And a lot of times this is what we see, that guys call each other out and fight a lesser fighter. It's not something that just started now. And I know people always say back in the day, everybody fought everybody. That is bullshit. Because I can give you tons of names of fighters who didn't fight each other in every era that we can think of, and they didn't fight each other. And then if you did that, you really go, damn, that's okay. I didn't know that. Okay, but do y'all remember when Ryan Garcia had it out with Oscar De La Hoya, and he wanted to leave Golden Boy, and he was saying, y'all don't believe in me, y'all don't want to give me the fights that I want? You see, the sad part about that is when the fights don't happen because of a promoter, people don't realize that. So I believe Ryan Garcia, you know, I don't think he did that just to do it. I think he meant what he said. But the good thing about him doing that is you think it would open people up to understand that, yeah, if these fights are not happening, it's not because he don't want the fight. And I keep telling you guys, the promoters don't want to lose their cash cow or their future cash cows. And that's just the way it is. So, you know, when you looking at what these fighters are doing or not doing, what you got to understand is, for every time you think of a fight, for any one of us that think of a fight, believe me, there's thousands or millions of people more thinking the same way, and there's going to be a whole lot more thinking different. But as long as we get the fights, then it's like, okay, cool, we're good, we're happy with that. But, you know, you got to start looking at these promoters too. You know, I said in the previous video, Deontay, what did Shelly Finkel just say? That fight ain't happening with him and Tyson Fury until maybe late 2021. That fight is not happening right now. So, you know, all of the getting frustrated is not going to change that. We got a lot of things going on right now. We don't know how long this pandemic is going to go on. So, you know what? I'll watch whatever fights that come on if I'm interested. If I'm not interested, I just won't watch. How about that? It's easier to just turn the channel and don't even give it a look. And to be honest with you, if something is not happening the way it should, then I wouldn't support it. How about that? Since y'all want to fucking jump in the ring and just make easy money and fight lesser opponents, then you don't have to participate. You could easily say, I'm not watching that fight. And I'm saying, like, real talk, even if you look right here, I don't know if you guys realize, right here on YouTube, there are people trying to get other channels banned. Like bigger channels. Like if you got guys that got like, you know, 40, 50, 60,000 subscribers or more, and then somebody else is saying things that is speaking the truth. This is why, like, really, I don't even like to talk about certain channels. I really don't. You know, I just give big ups, give props to the people that channels that I like, and you know, and other than that, like, as far as, like, there was times when people were saying certain shit, and I knew it was bullshit, I didn't go on their channel and disrespect them or tell them this, that, no. But I talked about certain things on my channel. But I looked at it and I'm thinking, you know what? I'm not even giving these dudes no more acknowledgement. Now, if I feel the need to say something, I will. But at the same time, people try to get people bad simply because when the truth comes out and all these lies that they tell, it's like, yeah, you look stupid now because you've been telling everybody yada yada. But when the truth comes out, the difference, doesn't matter to their little minions, whoever follow them. They're going to follow and believe whatever they say anyway. But, I mean, there's so much craziness going on. So the boxing community has been divided, not just in the ring, not just behind the scenes. Same way on YouTube. You have people who don't like the fact that you bring that heat and that knowledge to the game. So when you say something that debunks their lies and their fantasy, it's like, nah, I don't like that. He over here talking about blah, blah, blah. And they always want to use the term haters when you talk truth. So even like, for example, let me give y'all something, for example. Something as simple as people making a video saying, whoa, right? Whoa, must see. Mike Tyson, says he wants to fight Anthony Joshua. And I'm like, Mike never said that. And I don't know if I played that actual video, but the video is still up because I just saw it yesterday. Same thing. Whoa, must see. Roy Jones Jr. said he made a mistake. He made a mistake in fighting Mike Tyson. Now that video I played. So why would somebody DM you, yo, why you trying to ruin me? Like, bro, if I wanted to ruin you, I could find better ways to do it than this. First off, you must just feel guilty because you made a video about something that I spoke about. And guess what? I didn't even see it on your channel. What if the shoe fits weird? How about that? So basically, the fact that you're lying to people and clickbaiting, that's why they won't put that in the comment section. They'll DM that shit to you. Because Roy Jones clearly said, I ain't make no mistake. If anything, if I made a mistake, it's thinking that this is an exhibition. But other than that, I ain't made no mistake. I want this fight. Let everybody hear that. Play that. They like, oh, damn. Such and such lied. Oh, hey, bro. So, you know what I mean? Don't try to verbally crucify me for telling the truth. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is, man. Like I said, we got these young lions coming up now, and it's their time to shine. And what we need to do is just pay attention to what's going on and understand things that we want to see. We got to be patient with it. That's just what it is. We got to be patient. We got to understand that the reality is, as a boxing community, the more divided we stand, the less sense it makes to even voice your opinions about what you think, because 10 times out of 10 is going to be something negative, and it's going to be something that doesn't benefit boxing, and it doesn't benefit boxing fans. It's just a whole lot of talk, and I mean, what does that accomplish? Nothing. So, just again, man, Devin Haney was trying to get Gary Russell. So for all the people that shooting that fight down, he was trying to get Gary Russell. Gary Russell called all these people out, and he ain't fighting nobody. So, I don't know. Because like I said before, if Gary Russell don't sign that contract and fight Devin Haney, you know what it's going to look like? It's going to look exactly like he made all that noise just to try to bring attention to himself. Because for you to talk all that, you broke Terrence Crawford's jaw, you punched him in his face and he ain't do nothing, and you calling all these people out, and your little brother did this to that person, and this person, just went out and had nothing but negativity to say about every other fighter that. And the crazy thing is, everybody he called out, none of them is in his division. Everybody he called out is in higher divisions than him. So it was like, yeah, and he said he don't have the names in his division. So again, what does it look like? It make it look like you were just trying to get attention to yourself because somebody like Devin Haney, who's far more popular than Gary Russell is, don't get it twisted. Far more popular. And even like on their social media, Devin Haney has like so many more people on his channel. He's like 6 figures. Gary Russell might have like 20,000 people or something like that. Or, it's nowhere near as much as Devin Haney's or Tank Davis, or Lopez, or Terrence Crawford. So calling their names out, yeah, get your name mentioned. And that's exactly what he was trying to do. So, again, man, we just, look, it is what it is, man. I watch fighters sometimes, you know what the hell I'm watching. And it's like, hey, I'm watching the scrap, that's all. End of the day, it's boxing. And like I said, man, if you want to be supportive of boxing, then be supportive. But don't come with the wickedness, man, and feed into all the hype about, these fighters not wanting to fight, when you don't understand why fights are not happening. Because it's like I said, it's the person who you don't see. That's the ones who pretty much are the ones writing the blueprints up, but you don't see them. It's like you being at work and the supervisor give you something stupid to do, and they don't realize you're only following orders. So they get mad at you like you're doing something wrong, but who's the person? Now imagine somebody going to your supervisor, and I had that happen one time years ago. Supervisor as the manager actually asked me to do something. I was a supervisor at that time, and the manager asked me to do something, and I went to go do it, and the person went to the damn manager and complained about what I was doing, and the manager sat there and said, oh, okay, I'll talk to him. Wasn't even man enough to say, hey, well, I asked him to do that because this and that. No. You know what I'm saying? So that's the promoter and the fighter. Some of them will come out and say what's what, and then most of the time it goes unheard of. And like I said, when they talk, you don't know who's telling the truth, right? So instead of going back and forth trying to figure all that out, you know what? Don't focus on the negativity. Let's just look at the fights that we got. Let's look at what's popping. And like I said, if you're not interested, don't support it. I think that's the easiest way. You don't like it, don't support what's going on. Force them to say, you know what? Let's make this fight happen. How about that? I mean, it's already behind closed doors, right? Empty arena. So if that's the case and you don't support the fight, and I'm only saying this to be real, if you are unhappy and you want change, then you have to make moves to make change. So, no Gary Russell, Devin Haney, unfortunately. I don't know what's next for Ryan Garcia right now, but we know Tank Davis got a fight coming up. So, I mean, it is what it is, man. We got Lomachenko and look, let's just stay focused and positive. Never fall in love with lies, y'all. Remember, truth brings hate out of people. That's all I'm going to say on this video. Catch y'all on the next one.